What's happening about Akaza? And if you know anything about me, then you know that my favorite genre of music, or my favorite characteristic of sonic emissions coming out of my speaker, that's a great way to put that, is no wave, or noise rock, or experimental rock, just experimental music that's not bound by certain rule, like restrictions set by a certain genre of music, like punk, or rap, or country, I love just letting it all out in whatever way you can imagine and somehow make it happen in the reality that we've created. And I just, Sonic Youth was my favorite noise rock band. Still love them. 30 years from 81 to 2011, they created noisy rampage all over the world. However, there's one band that I also grew up listening to. It only lasted for a few years in the 70s in New York. They're called DNA, and the guitarist and the vocalist, if you want to call it either, of that group, his name is Arto Lindsay. And I've only really known him for his screechy, yelly, whatever he's doing there. And just the chaotic, frantic, just unworldly way he plays guitar and his kick moves and all that. Oh my god, I love DNA. I listen to DNA on DNA all the time. And actually, I don't know why, I just found out about this, but I did. Arto Lindsay off the DNA has done a variety, a shitload of music projects since DNA, which obviously he probably would. That was like the mid to late 70s. He's bound to do more since then. Lydia Lunch and all them in the old New York no wave scene, my bad there. They, sorry, it just sounds like it's got the same NW, no wave, new waves, it's got the same. I haven't slept much, been rocking out too hard, been losing my mind to experimental bliss. Mundo Civilizado, or Civilized World, released in 1996, and I just listened to it. It is Arto Lindsay's 96 LP, which he's got a shitload of projects from back after DNA to now. I think he just released it either this year or last year. I had no idea the dude had. I knew he did some other collaborations, but to know this guy has since DNA been doing so damn much, I have a lot of homework to do. I've got a lot of albums to listen to. I listened to Mundo Civilizado, which is Spanish, like I said, Civilized World, and there's a few Spanish songs on there, but man, so the last thing I heard of Arto Lindsay was DNA, which it's kind of hard to explain. It's just DNA is just aggressive, just no wave. Just the best way to put it is just DNA is the sound of New York, of the underground of New York City, at a time when just I wasn't there. I've only seen it in documentaries, so I can't really explain it, but it's just unexplainable, really. To explain DNA to someone, it's hard. Just go listen to it. Just go fucking listen to DNA. Stop this video, go to YouTube, type in DNA on DNA, listen to it, and then come back. Do that. I promise you, you won't regret it. Or maybe you might, depending on what your tastes are. A lot of people don't consider that music, but I don't consider them people. I consider DNA to be one of the best, because it takes a true artist to pull something like that off and make it sound that good. But anyway, his 1996 album, Mundo Civilizado, I love speaking Spanish. I'm not fluent, but I'm almost. It's, instead of just chaotic, unworldly no wave, it's a fusion of electronica and jazz. And it's fucking, I just woke up a little bit ago, and I just stumbled across this, because I know his name, Arto Lindsay. It came up in my YouTube suggestion feed. So I played it, and I was like, from the moment it started till the moment it ended, I'm sitting here having multiple aneurysms. I was like, this is what oh my god. Wow, this dude. James Chance and the Contortions, they also, they're a no wave band. They were, anyway, almost 40 years ago. They had a lot of jazz influence in their no wave. They have an album called Bye. There's a girl on the cover with a bikini on it. Get that? No wave goes good with jazz. There was a lot of art rockers in that scene who fused jazz, experimental freestyle jazz, into their no wave. And although Mundo Civilizado it's not chaotic no wave by any means, it's a lot clean. It's a lot more clean than my English is. My English isn't that good. Sorry. I'm not from this planet. I'm from a different one where they don't speak English. I'm still learning the language. It's just taken... I'm 26 on November 18th. It's taken almost 26 years to learn this language. It's that hard. It's that difficult. I actually speak that language back there, Filipino, better than I speak English sometimes, and that's really sad because I've only known about that one for the last year. But just like no wave not making much sense to people and just being these unworldly sounds combined to make some masterpiece works of art, that's the best way to describe Arto Lindsay's DNA. And his DNA itself is probably just, oh man, I wonder how his brain functions to come up with the amazing pieces of art that he does, because the electronic smooth jazz, it goes smoothly, but in the midst of all that, in the midst of the quote-unquote normal sounding or smooth oozing through the flow sound of this album comes the just I can't even do it. I can't describe. There's some no wave tendencies, there's some DNA, there's some influences of his beginnings, of his roots in this smooth jazz electronic album, and it just flows, and it's like a roller coaster, but not it's more of just, it flows and flows. Like, you could probably sit someone down who isn't into no wave and who probably wouldn't like DNA. You could probably set them down and say, hey, listen to this LP by an artist named Arto Lindsay from New York, and they probably start listening to it. I think it's got some French on it, so it's nice, multilingual. It's got a lot of Spanish on it. I mean, the album was in Spanish. I think it's on Bossa Nova Records, something like that. And the cover is I think it's a guy, not sure, might be him. I don't really know what Arto Lindsay fully looks like. It's been a long time since I've seen a picture of him. I mean, I know what he looks like from the videos, but when I saw the videos of Arto Lindsay, that was like back in the 70s, because there's recordings of DNA playing live. Well, I think it's more of a music video, but there's a dude with a flower with a rose plug pushed up against his face, and that's the album cover. It's a beautiful album cover. Very well represents the music that you hear on this record. And considering this record is only like $5 on Discog, because I'm putting that on my fucking shelf. Because Arto Lindsay's Mundo Civilizado is perhaps the best jazz record I've heard in a very long time. It's the polar opposite end of my darlings Soil and Pimp Sessions from Japan, who are what do you call Soil and Pimp Sessions? Hard jazzcore or punk jazz, hardcore punk jazz, jazzcore punk. I don't know what you want to call it, but it's like this anarchy jazz, just hard though. They're like Soil and Pimp Sessions are like DNA, but obliteration levels of jazz. Whereas Arto Lindsay's 1996 Mundo Civilizado, I keep pronouncing it wrong. It's smooth. It's easy on the ear. Anyone can listen to it. In fact, in 2011, when I first found Sonic Youth and their album Washing Machine because of my roommate, Washing Machine is one of the easier Sonic Youth albums to get into because it's more alternative rock, but it's got some noise rock influence. And so, if you want to get someone into no wave, show them this, and it'll ease their way into the genre. And that's actually the best way to put that. So if you know anyone who wants to listen, who you want to get into no wave, like let's say you want your grandma to rock out to some Theater Idaho Girls, or to some DNA or Lydia Lunch, or Teenage Jesus and the Jerks, or Mars 11,000 volts in your fucking face of suicide. Oh man, those are the good bands. I miss them. I wish I would have been alive during that time period of New York City. Go to those shows, meet them, see them live, because I know Lydia Lunch and the Retro Virus, she does some stuff today, and Arto Lindsay, he does stuff today, but every band that I just mentioned does not play anymore, I don't believe. Some of them might be dead. Rest in peace. Rock in peace. No in peace. N-O in peace. We're going to say that in this video. But I wanted to do a review over Arto Lindsay's 1996 Mundo Civilizado because it's just such an indescribable piece. I don't even know the right words to throw together to describe how this record has made me feel as a person. I just know that today is Sunday, October 20th, 2019, and I feel fucking fantastic. I didn't sleep at all last night because lots of stress in this here. Lots of stress in this here, man. Lots of stress in this here. But that record right there, it made it all better for at least 30 to 45 minutes. I think it's a 45-minute LP. It made it all better. And now I can go about with my day feeling better about myself and the world around me because I listened to something really nice by someone who, since I'm 26 as of next month, since I was like 10, 15, 11, 13, something like that, I listened to something nice by someone who, since I was a little kid, has always made me dance and has always brought happiness to my life. Because Arto Lindsay with DNA and all the rest of his bands, all the rest of the bands that he's associated with, no wave music brings out the happier inner self within me. This noise does too, but no wave more so because it is the greatest, most creative, most just experimental form of music to come from one's soul, to come from one's mind, to come from one's emotions. Take whatever mechanism you can and let it sing. You don't sing. You can sing if you want to, but you don't have to sing. I know, I think Theoretical Girls, they sing quite a bit, but most no-wavers you don't have to sing. You can let your mechanism sing. Your mechanism doesn't have to be a guitar. It can be whatever you want it to be. If you can find a way to make this screwdriver sing, make it fucking sing. If you can find a way to express your soul through any sort of mechanism or Mother Nature, man, I am getting so trippy. But that's what I was telling some people who were trying to message me while I was listening to this. I was like, stop, leave me alone. I'm tripping out. I'm tripping out. This Arto Lindsay record is making me trip out. They're like, Anarka's on drugs. Yes. No wave drugs. I'm on Arto Lindsay. I am on his DNA. His DNA is like a drug, and it's got me all fucked up, and I enjoy every minute of it. This is the weirdest review I've ever done, and I love every second of it. 13 minutes. Hell yes, I'm an Akaza. Thanks for watching this video, and das vidania.